we would expect that. The labor market, is a lagging indicator, and it lags way behind changes in the money supply. And as you know, you got to keep your eye on the money supply, and it's contracting at an unprecedented 3.7% negative year over year, and it's been going down now for over a year. This contraction, we haven't seen this since the late 1930s. So that's the labor market. It's weakening. Now, a lot of people say, oh, this is great. This shows you we're going to have a soft landing. That's not the way I'm interpreting the thing. I think it's weakening as I would expect it to weaken going into what is going to be a recession in 2024, because we have this contraction going on in the money supply. And I don't think the Fed's going to change much, by the way. If you look at the Fed funds futures market, Martin, on Friday, they said Mr. Market said there was a 95% chance that they would not change the Fed funds rate in the September meeting, and they would not change it in the November meeting, and the probability is very high there, about 65% that they won't even change it then. So I think they'll keep quantitative tightening. They'll keep the Fed funds rate where they are right now, and the contraction of the money supply will continue on pace, and we'll be in the thick of it in 2024. And I think basically what's happening, this is kind of the calm before the storm. The soft landing folks think everything looks great. We're going to have a soft landing. My interpretation is no. They're not looking at the money supply, and if they were, they'd realize that this is a calm before the storm.
Uh-oh. Okay. So, Steve, sort of begs the question, what happens with a fresh cycle of cuts then? Is that going to come earlier or start earlier than the middle of next year?
I think it's going to come late, and the reason for that is that the Fed is not paying any attention to the money supply. I don't think it's looking at this inverted yield curve, which is another indicator of a tremendous monetary squeeze that's going on. They're data dependent, Martin, and they're looking at things that are very much lagging indicators. The labor market is a very lagging indicator. And if you look at prices, they're looking at the core CPI, or what they call also, they look very much at the Consumer Price Expenditures Index, and they look at the core. They take out volatile ag and energy prices, and that's the last index of prices to change. The first thing that changes is the Producer Price Index, and that thing's been falling like a stone. And it falls ahead of the Consumer Price Index, and that's been falling like a stone. And the stickiest thing that comes late in the game and starts changing is the CPE, core CPE, and that's what the Fed is looking at. So they're just basically looking at things that lag a long way. That's why they're behind the curve.